Sorry,
Hey,
guys. Technical difficulties.
All right.
Okay.
So we're back. We were talking about stress.
I totally forgot what I was talking about. I was on a roll.
Like switching phones, something.
We're triggering.
Multitasking. No. Multi-purposing.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Multi-switching.
Multi-switching, switch tasking.
Switch tasking.
My connection, is it good?
Yeah.
Is it?
Probably.
Oh, it says weak.
It's probably okay.
Okay. So anyway,
oh yeah, so we're
the
talking
mechanism.
About parasympathetic, sympathetic.
Yeah.
You're talking about the deep breathing and as you bring
Oh,
it to
that
chest.
it's really powerful. I teach at the Y, and we don't have a lot of time. We only have an hour to do our class, so we don't have a lot of time to do the breathing. But even I can feel it. Just 5 minutes is usually all I do in the beginning, and it's amazing just that immediate change that you feel once you take this nice, deep, big breath and kind of hold it at the top for a second. It only takes 3 to 5 of those to do that. So we might even do it. It takes, 60 seconds to make a difference. So if you guys all want to do this together, we could do this together.
Let's do it. Let's get jacked up.
So anyway,
Relax.
Sitting wherever you're sitting, feet flat on the floor, and we'll just sit up comfortably tall and bring your awareness into your body and kind of just notice what you feel. So whatever it is that you feel, wherever your body draws you, don't have to hold your hands in any certain way. You don't have to, you can just sit and just see what's happening in your body. Maybe you want to close your eyes, face is soft, and just kind of scan through your body with your mind and see what's happening. You're not trying to change anything. You're not worrying about anything. You're just noticing what's happening with my body. And then start to notice how you're breathing right now. And what is that breathing like? Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it deep? Is it shallow? What's the pathway of the breath? Coming into the nose, down the back of the throat, into the lungs, and then returning. What's the temperature of the breath? You're just noticing this, bringing your awareness inward. So, kind of see what's happening for you tonight. And then we'll start to deepen it. So take a nice deep breath into the low ribs. And let that breath, that inhale, expand up to the mid-ribs and up to the collarbones. You might even imagine it coming out the crown of your head. And then release it. Let the shoulders relax. Let the belly just gently firm against the spine. Again, let's take a nice deep breath in. Nice, deep, full, round breath. Maybe hold it at the top for a moment. And then let it go. And we'll do that again. Nice, deep breath. Inhale. 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5. Hold. And exhale, let it out. Keep doing this. Keep doing this. So with your own counts, inhale, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, and exhale out to the same count. 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And exhale. Take 2 more on your own. Notice everything about it. Notice how your body feels. Notice your counts. And then really let that exhale out nice and long, even longer than the inhale. And then see how you feel. That's pretty much all there is to it.
I feel more relaxed.
You do? Dr. G feels more relaxed. So, I see we may have lost some of our audience.
No, sleepy time tea relaxed. Everybody fell asleep. The girl drifted off in this room. Who is watching this while they're driving?
Tiffany said she's watching while she's driving. Tiffany, please don't meditate while you're driving.
She's dead already. So before we came on, yeah, I was like crazy stressed, and we did that. And it was just like, okay, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, well, like your body's telling you to freak out. Your body's telling you there's a bear on the other side of the door or at the school somewhere.
Yeah.
Throwing in a joke. But your body's telling you that there's a catastrophe about to happen. But when you change your body through this practice, or your mind through this practice, then there's the catastrophe is no longer there.
Right.
It's something you can handle.
Yeah, and that's that plastic or neuroplasticity where you're rearranging your brain cells or your neurons is awesome because part of your brain here is called your amygdaloid, and your amygdaloid is fearful thinking. It's doom and gloom world. And so those people that are constantly posting on Facebook that everything's going to fall apart if this thing happens, everybody's going to die, that's where they think. It's amygdaloid thinking. But then you have frontal lobe thinkers that go, well, that's probably not going to happen. That's probably not true, right? Think of like racists, like, oh man, black people are like this, and then the frontal lobe's like, no, I actually know some black people that aren't like that. That's crazy. Yeah. Or statistically, yeah, that's not true.
Yeah. Well, the mind is geared, all of our minds are geared toward negative bias, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
We're predisposed to think negatively about things because we need to survive. And
that's why I'm always like, you know how white people are. And that's this part of my brain thinking. You know how women are.
Whoa.
That's amygdaloid thinking.
Wow.
No, you know what? I'm actually scared of dogs. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I get anxiety with dogs, but mainly because one went like that and bit me on my face and left a big old scar there. But I have to try to belly breathe when I'm around dogs. And my niece has 2 big, gigantic, massive dogs. And like they're super nice and super happy, but it takes everything in me to be calm down, just calm down, just calm down. And even though they're super nice,
Well,
like,
that trauma is imprinted on your brain, right?
Yeah. And I think so many people have like their own little traumas of like fearful thinking, that they got to rewire, and that's that part of like how to rewire that amygdaloid kind of brain that has these perceptions that maybe aren't real to go to that frontal lobe.
Right.
And that's that meditation and mindfulness and deep belly breathing and all that.
You could even think about it, I like to think about it in terms of the horse and the rider. So you've got the which is the amygdaloid brain, and you got like your prefrontal cortex that sits right on top of that. And so like you could think of this emotional reactive part of the brain as the horse, and your prefrontal cortex is the rider. And so when you meditate, you're actually connecting those two much better. You're making better communication between your horse and your rider so that your horse doesn't just run off wherever it needs to run off to without your direction. So you're more easily able to direct your thoughts, direct your reactions, and respond rather than react. And to think rather than having automatic negative thoughts, to think more broadly about the situation, to have more options in your mind, than to just react to that emotion with that one horrible thought in your mind that causes you to lose control or feel powerless.
Yeah, I think I heard on the news that the amygdaloid part of your brain was trying to build a wall between the frontal lobe.
Was
and
it?
Then it like
was it trying to get America to pay for it?
And it banned the amygdaloid or the frontal lobe thoughts from coming through to the amygdaloid.
Oh wow!
I think I
That's
read that.
That's horrible.
I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
Saw that somewhere. All right.
Did you try to counter that? Did you try to counter that through rallies and?
So my brain had a rally, and we broke some windows.
So yeah, so
right.
So we had a whole big. I went online and found a whole bunch of like solutions to this multitasking and this busyness, and it's not just meditation or mindfulness. It's not just going to your yoga class. There are other things too that I found that I thought were really good.
Yeah. So I had a question. So a lot of my patients, when we talk about mindfulness, it's like the most scary thought in the world, I think, for them to do it. So I always tell them to go to someone who does it so that they can just kind of submit and be, where instead of trying to figure out, am I doing this right? I don't know. Should I do longer? Should I not? Am I breathing right? But to go to like a yoga class or a meditation class, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's scary. It's scary to be alone with your thoughts, and or your body,
Especially
if it's feeling bad too. And so having someone to guide you is really awesome, especially if you're comfortable with that. If you're comfortable with going to a class, if you're comfortable with working with someone one-on-one, there are meditation classes. There are tons of yoga classes in Wichita and elsewhere. Yeah, so that's one way. The other way is to just start small. So ask for help if you need help. There's a lot of people out there who would be happy to help. But if you're doing it on your own, just start small. Start with something manageable. Even if it's 1 minute, just time yourself and work your way through your body. There's 100 different ways to meditate. Maybe you're just doing a body awareness meditation where you're just going through your body methodically, one piece at a time with your mind and feeling your body from head to toe or from toe to head. Maybe that's your meditation. If you're still too antsy for that kind of meditation, you can't sit still, maybe you need to do walking meditation. So maybe you need to go walking, and with each inhale, you say inhale as you're inhaling with your steps. So maybe you're like inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale. That would be another way if you can't sit still and you want to do it on your own, is to experiment with that. You could look up walking meditation online as well. Or if you just really need that guidance, come to a class.
What do you think about staring at a candle or a pit fire or a chimenea? Like watching the flames, is that meditation?
That does it for some people. But that was never something that worked all that well for me, was to just stare. I mean, you could stare at something and just look at it and observe every aspect of it and sort of get lost into it. And maybe there are people who do that. I'm sure there are. But that's never been my thing. I've always liked a breathing meditation, a walking meditation, or a mind-body practice, because I'm engaging not only the mind, but the body, the breath. And the more things you can engage in one activity, the easier it's going to be to become focused. That brings up another point. There's healthy multitasking, and then there's unhealthy multitasking. And healthy multitasking is when you're integrating, you're tying together related things. So if you're studying, if you're doing a report on Martin Luther King, and you're listening to a talk, and you're reading his speech, and you're watching him on something, or you're having a conversation about him, doing those things, that's healthy multitasking. That's healthy focusing. But if you're doing a lot of unrelated tasks that don't fit together, like playing the piano, having a conversation, tweeting on your phone, and watching TV, then you're going to be in that place where you're less focused, you're more scatterbrained, you can't remember, you have cognitive deficits, you're constantly distracted. So pick something that you can engage in a healthy way.
Yeah.
That's multiple things focused at one time. Did that make sense? I hope.
Yeah, I like the idea of going to a class though. Like if it's not your thing, just go to a class and they just tell you what to do and you just do your thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have some people that are sitting there that are like, I should run the class. This is how I would do it. Like those people need it even more.
Yeah.
They need to just settle it down.
Yeah, it's hard to let go. I have people come to class who can't lay still. They cannot lie down on their backs for any amount of time at the end of class. They have to get up and leave because they just can't. And some of that's because of time, but a lot of it too can just be because they're just too nervous.
Yeah.
So
what about removing distractions? I like that one.
Yeah.
So, I used to tutor neuroanatomy and neurophysiology in grad school. And I was telling people, you gotta get the hell out of the house. You can't have kids there. You can't have your dog there. Just go somewhere that's quiet. And so you can actually focus on those things. And I think that's taking people out of that situation allows them to be less distracted and more focused.
Yeah.
So, sometimes when people are doing stuff and if you're overwhelmed, you just say, look, I just need to go off for a minute and start to really kind of think about it, and then come back and make that decision. Where a lot of people during the day are just like, they feel like they got to make this decision because they're just constantly go, 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 go.
Yeah, and they're constantly having to respond to something.
Right. Constantly text, emails, all that stuff, instead of just waiting.
Yeah.
I believe there was someone, and I'm not going to get this right, but there was someone that talked about don't ever answer emails right away, especially business ones. You basically, you read it, wait a while, come back, write it, wait a couple minutes, then send it. And as a way, because they said so many people are sending reactive emails, and you can't determine intent on emails and texts, and so people are putting crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, on the email thing, one of the solutions was to commit to a time limit. So say set aside 20 to 40 minutes. It could be emails or it could be any other task, but set aside some time just to do that and any other related task. I know one other site said that, if you have to answer them throughout the day, pick 2 or 3 times throughout the day when you check your emails, and that's it. And they also said turn off all of your dings that show up on your internet that's constantly distracting you. You got a message from here, you got a message from there, you got a message from this person, a message from that person. Turn them off when you want to focus.
I have those on my computer will ding and ping and make noises, and my phone makes ping dings. And I actually had one patient one time that was like, could you shut that off? Like, they were trying to concentrate, and like, to me, I just becomes background noise for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. A couple other things were learn to say no.
I wanted to say that one. I tell patients all the time to say no. It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
No, you just.
That's
say
hard for me. That's hard for me. I think it could be hard for you too.
Can I borrow $5?
No.
Damn it. Okay, now you try.
Can I borrow $5?
I would love to give you $5. Not today, but maybe next week.
This is the problem, folks.
Right. That's how you're supposed to do it. All right, ask me again. So let's say $20.
Can I have $20?
$10? What do you want $5 for? Okay, you can have $1.
How about 50 cents? So, so saying no, being busy is a choice. I know it doesn't feel like it. And that brings up that other thing about glorifying being busy.
Yeah.
I know I do this. I'm so busy, or busy bragging. We brag about how busy we are.
Yeah.
I'm so busy. Isn't it so wonderful how busy I am? Look at all these things I'm doing.
So that's kind of like when people brag about their disease, kind of like, oh, my blood sugar's been really high, and I'm a diabetic, or, oh, I got the lupus, and like they become that person. Like they become the disease. So they become the disease of busyness.
Yeah.
That's their defining thing is, I'm just busy all the time. I just have to multitask. Like they glorify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that too.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think for myself, like usually I'm pretty competent about all the multitasking that I can do, but I have big stacks of papers in my office now because I am overwhelmed and unable to multitask because it's not effective like when you're not crazy busy, like I feel like I multitask pretty well, but when I'm really busy, I get screwed with that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the first gear, so everything just starts falling apart.
Yeah. It's hard to keep track of it all when it builds up. And there's so many things coming at you. You have to organize.
Organize life.
Yeah. And one that I really, 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 really liked was dare to slow down.
Slow down.
Dare.
When you're texting and driving.
Slow down.
Is that what you're talking
about? No, that's
I had
not
the same
thought. But like at work or at home, especially at work, where you're, well, anywhere, we're rushed. We're rushed. We're always always rushed. We're being pushed to the next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing. Get it done, get it done, get it done.
Okay.
Dare to slow down.
So I have two really, really good patient examples for this. And they were both women. They were both really driven women. And they both had really high-end jobs. And what they would do is they would just be like, I can do everything. I can try to do everything. I can't do everything. I'm burning out. I quit my job. I start another job. I'm the greatest thing. I can do everything. Oh, I can't do everything. Oh my God, I'm dying. I quit my job. And they would go from job to job, and they would just be like thriving on that stress. Because everybody would be like, oh my God, you can do this so much faster than everybody else, and you get so much done. But they were killing themselves in the process. And so one of the life-saving things that we did was just say, look, if it's going to take, say, a half an hour to get this done, tell them 45 minutes. Because guess what? You might have to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And if you say you can get everything done super fast and life happens and things change, then you failed. But if you buffer in life within that, then you're always doing awesome.
Yeah.
So you could be like, this will take an hour to get done. I got it done in 30 minutes. Hallelujah, everybody's happy, right?
Yeah.
And you have time to take a little walk around the office and,
Slower is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. We need more quality of life. Yeah. That's going to be my takeaway today.
So, our theme for this month was the resolution revolution, which is to stop doing all this bullcrap stuff that everybody fails on and start really changing your lifestyle for longevity, Mm-hmm. Create a lifestyle that's consistent with life and longevity, and you'll be happier and more well-adjusted. And so that idea of busyness, or the disease of busyness, is a really important thing that is the hardest possible thing to address with patients. It really is. But it can be done, and it's just, I would say in the beginning, it's just like exercise. It's been so long since I've been really pushed, and now I see Sean Strickland, and he got his masters at WSU, and I'm honored that he's helping me get back to fit. But it was crazy. I went to do a pull-up. I couldn't do one pull-up, and I used to be really fit. I can barely do 30 push-ups, right? I can only do 25 push-ups, proper push-ups. It was really sad. And but I found my limit, and it sucks because you get to the point where you're just sitting all the time trying to do all your stuff, and eventually you get weak. And whether it's weak of the mind or weak of the spirit or weak of the body, it's hard. It's hard. All the stuff that he makes me do, I would not do. I would not do that stuff at all because it's freaking messed up.
But you're prioritizing it now.
Right.
You're scheduling it in your life now.
So if it's on my schedule, I'll do it. And so I schedule in me, basically, into my life. And the other day, I was doing something and I threw up because it was it messed with my stomach. And I went right back to doing more of them, and I threw up, and I did more, and I threw up. And it was one of those things of he kept saying, well, why are you done? Are you quitting? And I said, no, I'll get stronger. I got to do it now. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And so it's the same thing with that meditation and the mindfulness of really scheduling that in to your life. And that's my takeaway message, is just schedule relaxation into your life. Make it just as important as every other tedious thing that you do in your life that keeps you busy.
And that's not only meditation or prayer or a bath. It's also positive social time. It's doing things that you enjoy, that are pleasurable. Going to the movies or whatever it is. Going to the theater. Going out to Final Fridays here in Wichita.
Final
Fridays. But scheduling that in and creating that space and time for it. Making it a priority. And prioritizing all those other things in your life. Thinking about what really is important. Is this the most important thing?
Yeah.
Are you breathing? I ask myself that a lot. Are you breathing? Yeah, I'm breathing, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and each time through this last few months when things have been just insanely stressful to your breaking point, I surround myself with people that are healthy and happy. And I do things like drink bedtime tea by Yogi, which makes me calm and relaxed. And then I listen to positive things, and then I go from that to, you know what? It's all going to be okay. And then it's okay. It's not that the stress didn't change, but the way my body reacts to that, from going from breaking point to, you know what? It's all going to work out. That's the important thing, you know? And I want to be self-revealing about that stuff too, because we all think like, you know, everybody else has got it together. Everybody else does not have it together. I mean, the people that you think are the best high-functioning, like, oh man, they're rock stars. No, they're all falling apart, you know? Except for people like Holly, who are yogaing through their meditation and deep belly breathing.
I have fall apart moments too.
Even you?
Even me.
Oh my Lord.
And they're scary, but they don't last. Those moments don't last.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to keep remembering.
Well, I want to thank you guys for attending. You had some more. Do you have follow-up stuff?
Yeah. No. That's it. That's it. I'm just thinking about quality of life, and just encouraging these thoughts.
Yeah.
In this busy and stressful time in our lives and in our nation and in our world.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. You know, as you watch the news, then go meditate. If you're watching stuff you don't like, deep belly breathe.
If you watch the news, you've turned on your sympathetic nervous system. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
NPR Science Friday, PBS, BBC, something that's calm and relaxing.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, don't touch that button right there. Oh, no.